You know, there's something truly special about friendship. The kind where you can share a laugh over a cup of coffee, reminisce about the good old days, or simply sit together in comfortable silence. But let's be honest, making new friends or even keeping the old ones can feel a little trickier as we get older. Maybe some of your closest friends have moved away, or life's changes have made it harder to stay connected. If you've ever found yourself wishing for deeper, more meaningful friendships in your 70s, you're not alone. And the good news? It's never too late to build new connections that bring joy, support, and a little extra spark to your days. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. How to create and nurture lasting friendships in this chapter of life. Whether you're looking to reconnect with old pals, meet new ones, or simply strengthen the bonds you already have, we'll walk through some simple, heartfelt ways to make it happen. Because let's face it, friendships aren't just nice to have. They're essential for our happiness, our health, and even our longevity. So, let's dive in. First, let's talk about where to find these friendships. You might be thinking, at my age, where do I even meet new people? Well, the truth is, opportunities are everywhere. You just have to know where to look. One of the best places to start is right in your own community. Senior centers, local hobby groups, or even your neighborhood cafe can be gold mines for meeting like-minded folks. Think about the things you love to do, whether it's gardening, painting, playing cards, or even just chatting over a good book. There's bound to be a group out there that shares your passion. And if there isn't, why not start one yourself? You'd be surprised how many people are waiting for someone just like you to take the first step. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. But what if I'm shy? What if I walk into a room and don't know how to strike up a conversation? That's completely normal. Starting a conversation with a stranger can feel daunting at any age. But here's a little secret. Most people are just as eager to connect as you are. A simple hello or a genuine compliment can go a long way. Try something like, "That's a lovely sweater, where did you find it?" Or, "I've always wanted to try that hobby. How did you get started?" People love talking about themselves, and before you know it, you'll be swapping stories like old friends. Another wonderful way to build friendships is through shared experiences. Volunteering, for example, is not only a fantastic way to give back, but also a chance to meet people who care about the same things you do. Whether it's helping at a local food bank, mentoring younger folks, or even joining a community cleanup, working side by side with others creates a natural bond. And those bonds often turn into friendships that last far beyond the project itself. Of course, friendships aren't just about meeting new people, they're about keeping those connections alive. That brings us to our next point, the art of staying in touch. Life gets busy even in retirement, and it's easy to let weeks or months slip by without reaching out. But here's the thing, friendships thrive on consistency. A quick phone call, a handwritten note, or even a text to say, "I was just thinking of you," can mean the world. And don't underestimate the power of small gatherings. Invite a friend over for tea, organize a monthly potluck, or take a walk together in the park. It doesn't have to be elaborate, just intentional. Now let's talk about something that's just as important as making and keeping. Friends, being the kind of friend you'd want to have. Friendship is a two-way street, and the best relationships are built on kindness, patience, and a willingness to listen. Sometimes, all someone needs is a sympathetic ear or a word of encouragement. And when you show up for others, they're far more likely to show up for you. So, as we wrap up this first part, I want you to take a moment to think about one small step you could take this week to nurture a friendship. Whether it's reaching out to someone you've lost touch with, joining a new group, or simply smiling at a familiar face in your neighborhood. Because the truth is, the friendships we build now can be some of the richest and most rewarding of our lives. And in the next part, we'll explore even more ways to deepen those connections and create bonds that truly last. But for now, I'd love to hear from you. Have you made a new friend later in life? What's your favorite way to stay connected? Share your stories in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more tips on living your best life after 70. Until next time, here's to friendship and the joy it brings to every stage of life. There's something truly comforting about sitting with a friend who just gets you, someone who knows your stories, shares your sense of humor, and understands the little things that matter to you. But as we get older, those kinds of friendships don't just happen by accident. They take a bit of effort, a sprinkle of courage, and a whole lot of heart. In the last part, we talked about where to find new friends and how to take those first steps toward connection. Today, let's go a little deeper, because the best friendships aren't just about meeting people. They're about building something meaningful together. One of the most beautiful things about friendship at this stage of life is that we've all lived rich, full stories, and those stories are where real connection begins. Think about the last time you had a conversation that left you feeling truly understood. Chances are it wasn't just small talk. It was the kind of talk where you shared something real, maybe a memory, a hope, or even a worry. That's the magic of vulnerability. It's not about pouring out your whole life story to someone you just met, but about letting people see the real you, little by little. Try opening up about something small first, like how you felt when you moved to a new town or what you loved most about your career. You might be surprised how quickly others open up in return. Now, let's talk about something that can make or break a friendship. Expectations. When we're younger, we might expect friends to be available all the time, to remember every birthday, or to always agree with us. But in our 70s, we've learned that life doesn't work that way, and neither do friendships. People have their own schedules, their own challenges, their own ways of showing they care. Maybe your friend forgets to call sometimes, or they can't join you for outings as often as you'd like. That doesn't mean the friendship isn't valuable. In fact, some of the most rewarding connections are the ones where we give each other grace. Instead of keeping score, try focusing on the quality of the time you do share. A single heartfelt conversation can be worth a dozen rushed coffee dates. Another key to lasting friendships? Shared interests, but with a twist. Sure, it's great to bond over hobbies, but some of the strongest friendships grow when you try something new together. Ever thought about taking a class with a friend? Whether it's learning to paint, trying gentle yoga, or even exploring technology like video calls to stay in touch with faraway family, stepping out of your comfort zone as a duo can bring you closer. There's something about laughing through the mistakes and cheering each other on that creates a special kind of bond. And if you don't have a friend to join you yet, sign up anyway. You'll meet others who are just as eager to learn, and who knows, one of them might become a dear friend. Of course, not every friendship will last forever, and that's okay. Some connections are meant to be seasonal, and that doesn't make them any less valuable. Maybe you'll meet someone who's a perfect walking buddy for a few months, or a neighbor who moves away but leaves you with wonderful memories. The trick is to appreciate each friendship for what it is, without putting pressure on it to be something it's not. At the same time, don't be afraid to invest in the ones that do feel deeply right. If you've met someone you truly click with, be the one to reach out, to plan the next get-together, to show up consistently. The best friendships often grow from simple, repeated acts of care. And let's not forget the friendships that have stood the test of time, the ones that have weathered decades of life's ups and downs. If you're lucky enough to have old friends still in your life, cherish them. Revisit old photos together, reminisce about the adventures you've had, and take time to create new memories, too. Even a long-distance friendship can stay vibrant with a little creativity. Try mailing each other handwritten letters or scheduling a regular phone call while you both enjoy your morning coffee. As we near the end of this part, I want to leave you with a thought. Friendship isn't just about having people to pass the time with. It's about having people who make you feel alive, who remind you that you're seen, valued, and never alone in this world. So this week, why not take one small step to deepen a friendship? Share a story you've been holding back, forgive a missed call, or invite someone to try something new with you. In the next part, we'll talk about how to navigate the challenges that sometimes come with friendships later in life, like handling disagreements or coping with loss, and how to keep your heart open to connection, no matter what. But for now, I'd love to hear from you. What's the most unexpected friendship you've ever made? How did it change your life? Drop your stories in the comments below. I can't wait to read them. And if you're enjoying this series, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Until next time, remember, every great friendship starts with a single hello. You know, there's a certain kind of wisdom that comes with age. We've learned that life isn't perfect, people aren't perfect, and yet somehow, friendship still has this incredible power to make everything feel a little brighter. In the last two parts, we talked about finding friends, building connections, and nurturing those relationships. But let's be honest, even the best friendships aren't always smooth sailing. There might be misunderstandings, life changes that pull people apart, or even the painful reality of losing friends as we grow older. So today, let's talk about how to navigate those tougher moments while keeping our hearts open to the joy that friendship brings. First, let's address something we don't always like to talk about: conflict. Even the closest friends can disagree or hurt each other's feelings sometimes. Maybe a friend canceled plans at the last minute or said something that rubbed you the wrong way. It's easy to let resentment build up, but here's the thing: holding on to grudges only distances us from the people we care about. Instead, try approaching the situation with kindness and curiosity. A simple, "Hey, I was a little hurt when this happened. Can we talk about it?" can work wonders. Most of the time, the other person didn't even realize they'd upset you, and they'll appreciate the chance to make things right. And if the friendship is worth keeping, a little honesty can actually bring you closer together. Now, let's talk about something even harder: loss. As we get older, it's an unfortunate truth that we might lose some of the people we love, whether it's due to illness, distance, or simply the passage of time. Grieving a friend is deeply painful, but it's also a testament to how much they meant to us. If you've experienced this kind of loss, give yourself permission to feel it fully. Talk about your friend, share stories about them, or even write them a letter saying everything you wish you could still say. And remember, it's okay to lean on other friends during this time. In fact, sharing your grief can deepen your remaining friendships in ways you might not expect. But here's something important: loss doesn't have to mean closing the door on new connections. It might feel scary to open up to someone new when you've been hurt before. But friendship isn't a zero-sum game. Every person we let into our lives adds something unique, and no one can ever replace the friends we've lost. So if you're feeling lonely, try to take a small step forward. Reach out to someone you've been meaning to get to know better, or say yes to an invitation you might have otherwise declined. You might just find that the world still has beautiful friendships waiting for you. Another challenge we sometimes face is changing dynamics. Maybe you've noticed that a longtime friend seems more distant lately, or that your interests have drifted apart. It's natural for friendships to evolve over time, but that doesn't always mean they have to end. Instead of forcing things back to how they were, try embracing the change. Maybe your weekly lunches turn into monthly phone calls, or your conversations shift from talking about the past to sharing what's happening in your lives now. The best friendships are flexible. They grow and adapt just like we do. And let's not forget about the friendships that do come to an end. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, a friendship just isn't working anymore. Maybe there's been a falling out, or you've realized you no longer have much in common. It's okay to let go with grace. Thank the person silently for the role they played in your life, and then focus your energy on the connections that do lift you up. Every friendship teaches us something, even the ones that don't last. Now, after all this talk about challenges, I want to leave you with the most important thing: hope. Because no matter what you've been through, friendship is always worth it. The laughter, the shared memories, the comfort of knowing someone's got your back, these are the things that make life richer. So don't be afraid to keep putting yourself out there. Smile at the new face at your community center. Strike up a conversation with the person next to you in line, or send that text to an old friend you've been missing. You never know where the next great friendship might come from. As we wrap up this series, I want you to take a moment to think about the friendships in your life. Old and new, easy and complicated, past and present. Each one has shaped you in some way, and each one is a reminder that you're never too old to connect, to grow, and to love. So here's my challenge to you. This week, do one thing to celebrate friendship. Call someone just to say you're thinking of them, organize a small gathering, or even take a chance on someone new. Because the truth is, the world needs your kindness, your stories, and your friendship, now more than ever. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If this series has inspired you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. What's the most valuable lesson you've learned about friendship over the years? And if you haven't already, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more conversations like this one. Until next time, remember, no matter your age, your heart has room for more love, more laughter, and more friendship than you might ever imagine. Here's to the connections that make life beautiful.